Some people in power don't just make decisions. They swing them like weapons. And when they cut your hours, it's never about budget, never about scheduling, never about what the company needs. It's about showing you exactly how small they think you are. But the thing about people who treat you like nothing is they never expect karma to clock in early. Sometimes karma shows up before lunch break. You're watching real-life karma TV. Let's begin. I worked in a warehouse that, well, you wouldn't see it on any corporate brochure. The air always smelled like dust and diesel. Forklifts beeped like broken alarms. Pallets leaned against the walls like tired old bones. And the concrete floor, cold, cracked, unforgiving, felt like it had seen more suffering than all of us combined. This place didn't run on technology. It didn't run on leadership. It didn't run on any system corporate bragged about. It ran on people like me, people who kept patching holes in a ship that management refused to repair. I'd been there for years, trained half the staff, memorized every aisle, every pallet, every forklift's quirks. I knew the drivers who always arrived late, the vendors who mixed up SKUs, and the shipments that needed triple checking or they'd blow up our whole schedule. And because I knew all that, because I kept the place alive, my manager, Trent, hated me. Not because I did anything wrong, but because insecure men despise competence they cannot control. He walked in on a Tuesday morning. Fresh uniform, brand new boots, smiling like he'd just unlocked Warehouse Pro mode. His name was Kyle, and he had that aura of someone who'd never been tested, but thought he was ready for anything. He shook Trent's hand with way too much enthusiasm, called him sir, said things like, "I'm ready for leadership. I learn fast. I can take charge." Trent practically melted. In 1 minute, I saw the entire dynamic. Kyle was everything Trent loved. Obedient, flattering, impressed by authority. Meanwhile, I was everything Trent hated. Experienced enough to see through him. And inside my stomach, a knot tightened. Because I'd seen this pattern before. When a manager finds a rookie who feeds their ego, they stop valuing the workers who feed the company. Next morning, Trent called me into his office. If you can call a dusty little room with the squeaky chair an office. He didn't look at me, just tapped his pen like a man about to ruin someone's day for sport. "Marcus," he said, "I'm cutting your hours. No build-up, no explanation, no warning. Just a knife to the throat." I kept my voice steady. "How long?" He shrugged. "As long as the company needs.
But the whiteboard behind him told the truth. Kyle's name was already written into the prime shifts that used to be mine. Trent wasn't just cutting my hours. He was cutting me.
Warehouse workers aren't stupid. They see everything, hear everything. By break time, the whole building knew. Marcus, they cut your hours? For that rookie? You trained half the floor. Kyle strutted around like he'd just been promoted to CEO. He said loudly, "Don't worry, guys. Trent says he sees leadership in me." Workers exchanged glances, the kind that say, "This kid's about to find out."
I still came in for my tiny little 4-hour shift, barely worth gas money. But I wasn't there for Trent, or Kyle, or the paycheck. I was there because curiosity is a powerful thing. And something felt off. I walked the floor. Forklifts stalled. Drivers waited longer than usual. Workers looked stressed. Then I saw it. Kyle, in charge of receiving, the most critical station in the entire warehouse, a position that required months of training, experience, instinct, awareness. And the rookie? He was scanning the wrong boxes, routing pallets to the wrong aisles, checking in shipments that didn't match the manifest. Trent stood behind him, arms crossed, smiling like a proud dad. Pride in incompetence. I didn't correct Kyle, didn't help him, didn't warn anyone. Because when someone cuts your hours to replace you with a rookie, you don't interfere with karma. You step out of its way. The shift started normally, at least on the surface. Cold warehouse air, forklifts groaning, the usual metallic screech of pallet jacks dragging across concrete. But beneath it, you could feel tension, like static right before a storm. Boxes piled up in receiving, the one place that couldn't fall behind. Kyle had no idea what he was doing. None. He scanned the wrong shipments, routed pallets into the wrong aisles, even checked in items that didn't exist on the manifest. Every mistake he made was a domino tipping toward disaster. 2 veteran workers whispered near aisle 12. He checked in truck 14's shipment, but truck 14 isn't scheduled until noon. He sent frozen goods to aisle 9. Aisle 9 isn't even refrigerated. I kept walking. Quiet. Calm. Watching the cracks spread. Karma doesn't rush. It waits and watches. Around 9:15 a.m., Trent strutted around like he owned the place. "Looking good, team," he shouted. "As you can see, this is what fresh talent can do." Fresh talent. Kyle was sweating like a man running a marathon indoors. Trent clapped his hands sharply. "Marcus, why aren't you helping him?" I lifted a brow. "You cut my hours. Said you wanted him to take receiving." Trent smirked. "I did, and he is. But don't stand around. Go break down pallets or something." Every worker around us froze. They heard it. The disrespect. The dismissal. I nodded once, stepped back, and let Trent write his own fate. Because when ego takes the wheel, karma becomes the passenger, waiting for its moment. 10:07 a.m. A forklift horn blared, longer than usual. Not a warning, not a signal. It sounded wrong. Workers turned their heads. Silence rippled across the floor. I walked toward receiving, not rushing, just steady. Because rushing never changes the truth. Then I saw it, and everything froze. Kyle had routed a pallet of hazardous cleaning chemicals onto a forklift carrying perishable food goods. The forklift driver, unaware, stacked the chemical pallet directly on top of the food pallet. One leak, one broken seal, and thousands of dollars of product would be destroyed. Worse, a state inspector could shut us down for weeks, maybe months. Kyle's face went white. I didn't know? I thought... Trent ran in. "What happened?" The receiving lead snapped. "Kyle mixed hazardous chemicals with perishables. If that pallet leaks, we're done." Even Trent froze. This wasn't a mistake. This was a catastrophe. And the clock said 10:42 a.m. Still 20 minutes before lunch break. Karma was early today.
Trent barked orders, all of them useless. "Put it down. No, lift it. No, move it. Careful." The forklift lowered the pallets slowly, too slowly. Then we saw it. A thin blue line of chemical dripping down the side of the box. Workers gasped. A contamination leak. Game over. Trent spat out excuses. "It's the labels. It's the vendor. It's the driver." Then, the moment karma hit him in the throat, he pointed at me. He didn't step in. He just stood there. All eyes turned to me. I kept my voice calm. "You cut my hours. You put him in charge. This is his station, his training, your decision." Silence. Heavy. Truth-filled. Karma didn't just arrive early. It arrived loudly. Hazmat protocol triggered. Alarm lights flashed. Forklifts halted. Half the warehouse shut down instantly. The food pallet ruined. Thousands gone. The chemical pallet quarantined. Workers whispered, "This is what happens when Trent plays favorites." Marcus warned them. They cut his hours for this rookie? I didn't smile, didn't gloat, didn't enjoy it. I just watched the world correct itself. Trent wasn't just panicking, he was unraveling. He ran from aisle to aisle, shouting orders that contradicted each other every 10 seconds. "Block the area! No, move the forklifts first! Don't touch anything! Actually, clean that up!" Chaos doesn't reveal character. It exposes it. Workers exchanged looks, the kind that say, "We knew this was coming." Because in a warehouse, respect isn't earned through titles. Only competence earns it. And today, everyone saw what Trent lacked. Meanwhile, Kyle stood frozen, eyes wide, hands shaking, realizing he had started something far bigger than he understood. But he wasn't the villain. He was a pawn, pushed into a battlefield he wasn't trained for. Karma wasn't punishing Kyle. It was aiming at Trent. At 11:05 a.m., the general manager's office called an emergency meeting. That alone told us everything. Emergency meeting equals fallout, accountability, consequences. The room filled quickly. Managers tense, leads silent. Clipboards braced for impact. Trent jumped in first. The guilty always rush to speak. "It wasn't my fault," he blurted. "The rookie wasn't trained. Marcus wasn't helping. He ignored instructions. He... The room went still. Every head turned toward me. I didn't speak, because I didn't have to. The receiving lead, 18 years in the warehouse, spoke instead. Marcus didn't help because Trent cut his hours and put Kyle in charge. A ripple passed through the room. A truth ripple. Another lead added, "We told Trent this was a bad idea." Another, "Kyle wasn't trained for hazmat codes." And another, "Marcus kept us compliant for years." Then the GM looked directly at Trent. "Did you place an untrained worker in a critical position?" Trent's mouth opened, but nothing came out. He looked like a man who just saw the ground open beneath him. And for the first time all day, he understood what he'd done. The GM turned to Kyle. "Kyle, did you understand hazardous rules?" Kyle swallowed. "No, sir." "Did Trent train you properly?" "No, sir." "Did you tell him you weren't ready?" Kyle nodded. Yes. I told him I was confused. He said to just do it, and that Marcus wasn't needed anymore. Silence. Thick, heavy. Kyle wasn't malicious. He was honest, and honesty shattered Trent's entire defense. The GM leaned back. This wouldn't have happened if Marcus had been left in charge. It wasn't praise. It was a verdict. Trent's face drained of color. His world, his ego, his throne crumbled.
11:30 a.m. Lunch break. But the warehouse wasn't buzzing with microwaves, small talk, or laughter. People sat quietly, reflecting, connecting the dots. I ate alone, not smiling, not smug, not triumphant, just mindful. Karma doesn't need applause. It just needs timing. And today, it arrived early. Trent walked into the break room, eyes red, shoulders low, a man reshaped by consequences. No one greeted him. No one avoided him. They simply watched truth sit on his shoulders. He approached me. Marcus. His voice cracked. We need to talk in my office. Not a command, not an order, a plea. And Karma stood beside him, smiling softly. I followed Trent back to his office, the same little room where he cut my hours without hesitation. But today, the air felt different, the power different. He shut the door quietly. Marcus, I need your help. The words landed heavy. What do you need help with? I asked. He rubbed his forehead. Everything. Receiving. Inventory. Hazmat logs. Vendor reports. We're drowning. And why is that my problem? His throat tightened. I made a mistake. Which one? I asked calmly. Cutting my hours? Replacing me with someone untrained? Ignoring every warning from your leads? He lowered his head. All of them. This wasn't redemption. This was a confession dragged out by consequences. And karma loves confessions.
Trent sat down slowly, like gravity had doubled just for him. I'll give you your hours back, he said quickly. Your full schedule, your old position, whatever you want. Just help me fix this. I shook my head gently. Not enough. His eyes widened. What do you mean? More hours? Overtime? A raise? No, I said softly. I want something you can't give me. He swallowed. What's that? Respect. His jaw tightened, his breath shaky. I leaned forward slightly. You cut my hours because you wanted someone weaker, someone you could control, someone who made you feel bigger. He didn't deny it. He couldn't. And now, I continued, you're asking the very person you tried to replace to save you from the consequences you created. His voice cracked. Marcus, I'm sorry. It wasn't loud. It wasn't heroic. It wasn't noble. It was survival.
I stepped out of the office and returned to the floor. But the warehouse felt different. eyes followed me, not with pity, not with arrogance, but with recognition. They knew. Everyone knew. I began doing what I'd always done, fixing things quietly, correcting the hazmat logs, reassigning misrouted pallets, restoring inventory sheets, calming vendors on the phone, training a driver who just arrived in a panic. Kyle watched from a distance, guilt heavy on his face. He wasn't a bad kid. He was just thrown into a role meant for someone fully trained. And Trent paced behind us like a ghost, haunting the ruins of his own decisions. As I worked through the chaos, the truth settled in. The warehouse functioned not because of leadership, but because of the people leadership abused.
At 2:50 p.m., the general manager called everyone up front. Every forklift shut off. Every conveyor stopped. Every radio went silent. He stood on a pallet so everyone could see him. "We had a serious incident today," he began, "and one person stepped up to fix something he did not cause." Eyes drifted toward me. I kept mine down. "Marcus has been the backbone of this warehouse for a very long time," the GM continued. "And removing him from his position was a mistake." A wave of surprise washed through the crowd. But he wasn't done. "Starting tomorrow, leadership will be restructured." Trent tensed, then froze.
And today is Trent's last day. Gasps, whispers, shock rolling through the warehouse. Trent didn't argue, didn't shout, didn't protest. Because deep down, he already knew. Karma had arrived. And it was here for him. He walked out slowly, not fired by force, but escorted out by the truth. After Trent left the building, the GM pulled me aside. "Marcus," he said, "I want to offer you his position. Full-time supervisor, a significant raise, full authority over receiving and inventory. Everything Trent tried to deny me, everything I had earned." I let out a slow breath. "I appreciate it," I said, "but I'm not staying." "Not staying? But you're the best worker we've ever had." "I know. And that's exactly why I need to go. Because sometimes the moment you gain value is the moment you realize you deserve more than the place that broke you." The GM nodded, not angry, not disappointed, just understanding. I grabbed my things, my gloves, my worn-out steel toes, my old notebook filled with routing notes. As I walked toward the exit, workers approached me, one by one. They said, "You saved us today. You should have been the lead. We'll miss you. You deserved better." I didn't need applause.
I didn't need validation. Their words were enough. Stepping outside, the sunlight felt warmer than it had in years. I wasn't walking away from a job. I was walking away from a cage.
Today, I work at a company that respects me without cutting my hours, without feeding egos, without treating competence as a threat. My paycheck is better, my sleep is deeper, and my dignity restored. Sometimes I drive past my old warehouse. The forklifts still beep. The docks still fill with trucks. The air still smells like dust and diesel. But something is missing. Trent's voice, his chaos, his petty authority. He once believed I was replaceable. He believed any rookie could do what I did. But karma remembers. Karma always remembers. And it reminded him before lunch break that the person he tried to replace was the very person holding everything together.
You're watching Real Life Karma TV. If this story hit deep, if you've ever had your hours cut unfairly, been replaced by someone inexperienced, or watched incompetence rise above hard work, tell me in the comments. I read every single one. And if you have a real story, a story of betrayal, injustice, humiliation, or that perfect moment when karma finally showed up and flipped everything, don't keep it inside. Send your story to reallifekarmatv@gmail.com. Write it raw. Write it honest. Write it exactly as it happened. Because your pain, your lesson, your comeback might become the next story told on this channel. And who knows, one day, maybe next week, maybe next month, you might click on a new video and hear your own story being shared with the world.
Your voice carried through mine. Your truth helping someone survive their own storm. Tap like, drop a comment, subscribe, and share this video with someone who needs a reminder that karma is always watching, always patient, and always delivers exactly when it should.